Okay, welcome everybody to the Quadrant community call of Tuesday, November the 12th. We have an empty agenda, almost empty. We did manage to get a Quadrant 1.0, and I think by now release candidate 4, or is it still 3? We're going through release candidates like, I don't know what comparison to make, but pretty fast. But anyway, great. Really happy about that. No official topics. I don't know if Rachel is on the call. No, she's not. Yeah, okay, we can do that next week. Then it doesn't matter. So unless somebody has something right now, then or there's something in the backlog. I didn't check that really. Sneak peek and the help charts. We still haven't gotten a sneak peek on the help charts, DD. But I guess it's no longer a sneak peek. It's supposed. Well, it's all there. So, should we remove this, or you still want to present that one day? Didi?
Sorry, I was mute. Yeah, probably will be hopefully next week after this Thursday, Friday conference.
Right. That's a good one. Okay.
I mean, like it is actually working, and I'm basing the demo on Helm, so it needs to be working. So it is working for all the release candidates now. And yes, we are like at the RC4 at the moment, and so far it's working.
Okay. But there was something wrong with the automated, like it was not automatic.
Our workflows are not triggering for some reason when they were before. So we need to take a look at those and fix them so it's automated, fully automated. Because now it's actually kind of manually, and we need to trigger the Helm release workflow for each of the other operators, and then the Quadrant one, and then on the Helm repository to between quotes deploy to the Quadrant IO page.
Right.
And the actual index of the repo.
Okay, but maybe next week. Okay, let's see. Quadrant release coordinator role. I don't know who added this and how long it has been there. I have no idea.
Yeah, that was mine, Thomas. It came up as an action item off one of the community calls we had a few weeks back about the idea of having a release coordinator for each upcoming release of Quadrant. Given that we're focusing on the V1 release, though, I kind of put that on the backlog for now, and maybe it's something we can revisit once V1 is out.
Okay, cool. And I think, Jim, you added that one, the out of order creation that's related to the issue you created, no? Or not? Is Jim on the call? That's another question. I don't know.
No, he's not on the call.
Okay. Well, I have an idea what it's about, but I guess that's not going to be today. So let's just move on. Release course. Is it chore or core? I always say core, but that's wrong. It's chore, no? Somebody with native English capacities should tell me. I think you probably added this, correct, or not? It's correct.
Sorry, I was paying attention to things on the. I added this actually.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. We're cutting RCs, and I had a look at the board, and based on what I'm seeing, we're pretty far away from being able to cut any kind of RC. So, how do we scope that? Is all the work that's still to do and in progress really targeted to V1? Do we really plan on having all that?
Good question. I guess that it depends on what kind of thing it is we're working on, right? Like if it's a new feature, it should not be in 1.0 for sure, because officially we are now on.
I guess my question is, can we all sort of go and, I'm not sure how we can even reflect that we actually did that, because it's no possibly for a bunch of tasks. And so what should become 1.1 or post V1? The stuff that's mostly V1 still probably would be nice if it bubbles up to the top. So
You mean let's go through the board?
I'm not saying it has to happen, but here, or what, I'm not sure what it's the first time we do this, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's worth the exercise at some point to sort of, know
Yes,
what's
I agree.
going on.
Yes. Well, I would say, Guy, you go.
Yeah, maybe I misunderstood what Alex said. Did you say that we are far pretty far from cutting RC?
It was me being sarcastic. If you look at the things remaining on the board, it looks like we're 2 weeks away of releasing an actual first release candidate.
Okay.
Because there's so much work still assigned to V1. But my guess is that all that work may or may not be, and
Mhm.
I'm not smart enough to figure those things out.
Gotcha. And can somebody maybe give us a TLDR on all those RCs? Because by now I kind of already lost track of. Well, I know I am responsible for at least 2 of them, so in the sense that I caused them. But I would like to know, what's in the way, to finally get one that we say, hey, this is the one.
Craig or Eguski know all the details, I believe. DD maybe too.
I don't. Greg is doing the latest, as far as I can tell, the latest test on RC2, RC4. I tested RC4, but basically a smoke test with rate limiting in memory, limiter with the storage in memory. It's working.
No,
But,
but Guy's question was why? What's the reason for each new RC? Basically, I think.
I cannot tell because they were already built.
Okay. Yeah. So the way I remember it is that the first one was because we, I think you know about that one, Guy. Like that was where it didn't work on OpenShift because we removed too much in that cleanup pull request.
That was the second one.
Well, I remember a few of them, at least twice. Eguski found permissions that I removed in the cleanup that I was not supposed to. So 2 finalizers, one Kuadrant CI, another one the gateway. And I think those were in 2 different release candidates, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. That could be the case. At least RC2 was that, and I think might be RC3 too. But also because in RC3, I think we in the first, I think there was the wrong version of limitador, and then we triggered RC. No, that triggered RC3. I don't know what triggered RC4. I don't know.
The finalizer on the gateway.
Okay, that was with Guy. Okay, well, that's it. I think yes. And so far,
I don't know. RC1 was built twice. We removed the tag and we recreated.
Yes, if we would have
then
been completely.
Next fixes were adding new tags. So I guess to keep track of changes we've done, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. It's going to be useful by RC17, more or less. Thanks.
You're very optimistic.
Do we know if RC4 so far doesn't have any issues? I think you said that, no, Eguski?
Craig is running. It's debugging something. It's running limitador with Redis backend. It's not working as expected, and we are still confirming if it's a configuration issue or bug in the code.
Okay.
My recommendation would be ignore that, right? And cut the release. There's many things that can be tested without that. So I don't. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
When you say cut the release, Alex, what do you mean?
The RC4. just let that out and give it to QE and like,
I
you know.
think that's already the case, I think.
Oh, okay. Sorry, ignore me then.
Let's get back to your original question, Alex. Like, we should clean up the board because there's lots of issues still pointing to 1.0. I'm doubting if we do that now in this call, or if we just say everybody after the call, we can keep it short, this call, use that time, go to the board, look for issues that are assigned to you and update, and then talk about it. Is that what do you think is better? Alex?
Sure. Bubble sort to death or something. That's the way we do priorities then. Until
I'm
somebody
not
gives up. Bubble sort,
not
you
sure
know,
what
like
you mean.
always put your thing on top until everybody gives up. And sorry.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean that we can just, if there's probably quite some issues there that say now that they are
only
pointing
review
together.
the version stuff, is it?
Yes, and then we can do the sorting together, I would say, because that you cannot do alone.
Yeah, that was my joke. That was bad.
Sorry, it's raining here. I'm not getting any jokes. I'm thinking, let's do it like that.
I'd say ping on the channel as well. You're missing people on this call that could give useful context. Like, you can only do so much of this call, but I'd say definitely ping on the channel. When people have time, go through their issues on their various subboards.
Yes.
I think that'd be good
Yes.
to do. Just give them priorities at the moment that people do in their own time.
Yes, and then we do a call to actually try to make some order and see what we think is realistic to actually still make it for the final
Yeah.
one.
The bubble sort of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's do that. There's nothing else on the agenda. Anybody has any point they want to make, or we leave it here? So, reiterating my question, please, if you have a moment, go to the board, see if there's any issues assigned to you that are targeting 1.0, and then try to decide, does that make sense? Is that realistic or not? And then maybe tomorrow we can do a call to try to sort the remaining ones, see what we can still get in, what should be there. Yep. Okay. That's a wrap then. Thanks, everybody. That was very short. See you next week. Bye.